Welcome back, Earl Entertainment, baby. We're out here. Earl Entertainment, make sure you subscribe.
Today's video is going to be on installing an air horn in a Dodge Challenger. The air horn that I have is the Dukes of Hazzard horn. Other people call it the Dixie horn. I'm going to show you how I installed it. And what was important to me is that there was no holes drilled in the car, and that this horn could be removed without ever knowing it was installed. Now, most likely the air horn kit that you buy is not going to come with everything that you need. You're probably going to need to pick up some of these. Some people call them fork terminal connections. Some people call them spade terminal connections, but you're definitely going to want some of these. You're going to want some of the quick connections, female piece that'll plug into your compressor. And also, you're going to have to buy a toggle switch. And it might be a good idea to buy a toggle switch that has the quick connection male fittings. The same thing as what's on your compressor, so that way you only have to buy, you know, and you're using the same kind of connection on both sides, your toggle switch and your compressor. These will do. You're also going to need one straight splice, crimped connection for your fuse link. You're going to need to oil up your compressor. Now, you're gonna wanna do this regularly, depending on how much you use it. I'd say once a month is probably fair to say. You put like 4 or 5 drops into the compressor, and that'll keep it running good for a long time. Now, you're also gonna need that fusible link. These you can get at Napa, AutoZone, O'Reilly, any of the auto parts stores, very common. And you're also gonna need your wire. So, you know, most of these kits it's fine to run 14 gauge positive and 16 gauge on your ground. And obviously, depending on what kind of wire you buy, you know, is what size fittings you want to buy. So a lot of these are, you know, either 10 or 12 or 14 and 16. So if you buy 14 gauge wire for your positive, 16 gauge wire for your ground, and then you can get the 14-16 connections that work for both. All right, so now let's go over all the components under the hood. So we've got our compressor, our relay, our fusible link, our ground, and our air hoses, and our air horns. You can probably see tucked down in here. Now the air horns, to secure them, I started from big to small. So put the big ones in first, followed by the smaller ones, and then wrapped a large zip tie around all of them, tightened it right up, and boy, they're secure in there. I'm actually really surprised on how well it worked, and I'd recommend you do the same thing. There's no need to be, you know, screwing holes in these vehicles over a couple plastic air horns. And on that note, as far as the compressor mounting, on these Challengers, there's actually a bracket that comes off of the side of this fuse panel here that this compressor is sitting on. Now, it's not gonna rub on any of this paint because it's actually elevated on that bracket. The bracket has got a narrow slit through it, perfect for a hose clamp. So that's what I did. I set the compressor on top of that bracket, wrapped the clamp through the bracket and around the compressor, tighten it up, and this thing is not going nowhere. This thing's on there really well. As far as the relay, same thing. There's a little bracket right there. I just used the hardware that came with the air horn kit, bolt and a nut, and put it on there. Worked out well. Now, as far as wiring this relay, I know this is gonna generate a lot of questions, and this is probably one of the big reasons people would watch this video. Now, on these relays, every leg is gonna be numbered. On this example, it's 87, 86, 87A, 85. All right, now let's start with leg 86. This one runs all the way to the toggle switch in the cab of the vehicle. Now on these Challengers, super easy to get it in there. You can literally follow this panel with your wire, wrap it right around here, under this plastic piece, to the other side of the vehicle. You can pop this plastic piece right up, and down in this hole, there's the hood latch cable runs right through your firewall. There's a little rubber grommet, and you can just stick your finger in there and kind of open up the hole a little bit and get your wire right through. Feed it under the inside of the vehicle, and you've got power to your switch. That's the best shot that I saw, and I'd recommend, you know, anybody else to run it the same way. You've got leg 87. Now this one runs directly to the positive terminal on this compressor. So just runs from here to here. 87A and 85 both run to our linkable fuse. So our positive terminal coming from our battery to the fuse, spliced to these two wires. One goes to link at 87A, one goes to 85. Seems like a lot, but you know, you do one at a time, and it really goes pretty quickly. The negative, the ground from the compressor, this is perfect right here on these Challengers. Now, in the kit that I bought, it actually came with this nut, and it happened to fit that bolt perfectly. So I didn't even have to touch the factory nut. All I did was just, you know, throw my connector on there, twist the nut on, grounded. Now the air hoses are colored. So you've got, you know, the brown, the orange, the black, the blue, and I think there's a purple. So both sides, they're labeled. So you just go brown to brown, black to black, yellow to yellow, blue to blue, purple to purple. Pretty straightforward. Now for the inside of the vehicle. As I said, you're gonna wanna follow the hood latch cable from up in here. That's where you're gonna pull your positive feed from, all right? What I did is I ran that up underneath this plastic. You don't even have to take any of this plastic off. That's the thing. The way I'm installing it, the way I'm showing you to do this, you don't have to take anything apart. You shouldn't have to pull, you know, your front bumper off, like I've seen in some of these other videos. You shouldn't have to pull your dash apart, for God's sakes. You're putting in a little air horn, all right? Now, push up that wire up and behind this plastic, all right? And it's gonna run right to your switch. I've got the switch right in this net, okay? So you can see, all you do, that's it, all right? Now the negative wire, I ran right up to, let's see if you can see it here. I ran it right up to that bolt where you got that red on the end of the bolt. All I did was, again, added that nut. So you don't have to take that factory nut off. The Fiamm kit comes with that nut. So all you're doing is just putting a connector on that wire, putting the bolt on, putting the nut on the bolt. That's it. There you have it. How to install an air horn on a Dodge Challenger. Hopefully this was good information for you, and anybody who's looking to do this themselves, a DIY kind of thing like I did, I'm sure that you'll take something from this video. Those of you who are not subscribed yet to Earl Entertainment, we are a small channel, we're trying to grow. We've got like 200 subscribers, okay? Go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Till the next time, Earl Entertainment, peace!